How you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm alright.
Solu,
Oh, okay.
looking regal in your whites.
Ooh,
You need to see
thank
Tolu this
you.
morning. I'm not sure this look and this hair was made for this week.
At all.
What's the ultimate goal?
My leave.
Oh, man,
Great.
good to be back in the studio.
Yes, sir.
So today we're looking into the glitz and glamour, of Nigerian weddings. So we're exploring, whether the extravagant spending, is truly worth it. So we're approaching this with the question, right? Are lavish Nigerian weddings worth the splurge?
Are lavish Nigerian weddings worth the
Yes.
splurge?
Yes. So we all know Nigerians are known around the world, right, for having lavish weddings.
Yes, no.
Even I can't remember. There's a statement someone made. Some white people were talking, and
Yeah.
we went for a Nigerian wedding. You understand? And the other guy was like, so like a Nigerian wedding. It was crazy, So we are known for that, and it's our culture now, right? But is it really worth, spending? So checking the cultural significance versus the financial prudence, right? How important is the culture, the cultural aspect of having a lavish wedding? You understand, in Nigeria, and can the cultural significance justify, the high costs involved?
Well, what I'll say is, if with your permission,
You
I
have
think,
my permission.
yeah, I think today maybe looking at the importance and the significance of this topic, I think we should get callers or listeners to send in a lot of messages and voice notes today.
Thank you very much.
Let's hear from you, our listeners.
Yeah.
I wish I could say ladies shouldn't send messages, but because
They can try.
I can always imagine what we. I mean, almost every lady wants a dream wedding.
Yeah.
Almost every
Almost
lady.
every lady.
Almost every lady.
But
It's.
that's still some, we thank God for the exception.
We thank God for them. God will connect them with right men.
Amen.
Amen. Men with heavy pockets.
Amen.
Because I mean, wow, I don't know. Let's even try to dissect it a bit. When you talk of weddings in Nigeria, an average Nigerian wedding is meant to be expensive because wedding is a family gathering, and wedding deals more with the origin, the source of the person. So which means that, and a lot of us, it just feels like people in the village don't get married because like almost every wedding we take it from the city to the village. I just wonder.
We give them traditional.
Because you don't hear that splurge or that expense. Oh, this guy is in, maybe somewhere in this village and that's where he's from and he's spending so much. All those, but anyway, let's not get into that. So it's bound to be expensive because first of all, you can imagine, take Lagos for example. You are from Akwa Ibom. You meet somebody from Akwa Ibom, and the woman says, my parents have relocated. So you need to go to Akwa Ibom
First.
to do your traditional wedding. Before you can then come back to Lagos, where your people are. Now, if you don't come back to Lagos for the wedding and decide to do everything in Akwa Ibom because you want to save cost, remember, this is where you have your strength, your force, your clique. So you still have to do a little kind of wedding or reception for them. Taking the man's family alone back to Akwa Ibom. That is if his family is not there. That's an expense. That's talking about an intra-tribe marriage. Now, if you look at an inter-tribe marriage, where you are maybe in Port Harcourt, the man's family is from Ogun State, the woman's family is from Benue State, only the couple are in Port Harcourt, and you have to go marry in Benue State because the girl is rooted home.
Yeah.
So you need to get your family, the man needs to get his family to come all the way from Ogun State to Benue State. Most likely you pay for that, who irrespective of who's paying for it, whether you are the parents or you do GoFundMe, that will be paid for. Then you convey yourself from Rivers down there, and all the clothes they'll use and everything. So that alone, the expense.
Sorry to cut you short, there, but all these things you've listed now.
Yeah, and they are basics.
I still feel it's a choice.
No, but it's tradition. If the girl says,
You can still
my
pay.
family... No, if the girl says there are people that will tell you, hey, my father is a chief or my father is a king. He can't come home.
Are not enough.
Yeah, but you have to go and see the person's parents.
Go now, but it doesn't have to be the whole squad now.
So you won't take your father and your mother? We know how important that is. We know how important that is in our
father,
culture.
mother,
Yes.
You.
And your father and mother will tell you, I can't go alone.
Family.
Don't let me look like I don't have people.
But me, I feel like like balancing the culture and the cost. I still feel it's possible, to honor cultural tradition without excessive spending. Opting for a more modest, wedding that still includes, key cultural elements. Just provide some balance, right? You appreciate the culture, which while still saving your money. Do you understand? Just to maintain that balance, right? I think you can still achieve it as against slamming weddings. The weddings out there these days are
you joking?
Yeah, So that's my own point of view, right? In regards to balancing the cultural, civic significance, as against the financial, being financially prudent. I feel it can still be met, like all what you've just listed. The families will have to meet at some point, right? We do the introduction. Do you understand? If only both families would agree to be, modest with it, it'll be a lot better, more convenient, right? But these days now, you're asking for bride price now. One tuber of yam is between 10 to 12,000. Like some places will tell you to bring 50 tubers of yam. I don't know what meal, but it's crazy, really. And especially the times where we are,
You're in right now.
Today, anyone getting married right now, doing well with the person.
You pity the person, but it's supposed to be a joyous moment. Why are you pitying the person?
It's a joyous moment now. That's why you spend money for it. But I mean, the average hall now, how much? You can't do a wedding with 10 million now. If we're talking about lavish wedding, that's a very, very, very minor budget. Do you understand? If we're talking about lavish wedding, but at the end of the day, right? Does it need to? Do you understand? Be that extravagant.
Okay, so in your view, what should be the average cost for a wedding?
That's a tricky question, because I don't have those figures for
But I'm asking because if you say 10 million, you could do a wedding in a church. You don't need to rent a place.
Exactly. So that's where I was going to. Right?
Okay.
You can have a wedding in a church. This church reception after the church reception.
Service.
This church service, then reception.
It shows you only go for wedding receptions. You don't go to wedding church services.
Sometimes. If I'm on the train. Do you understand? Some people also go ahead with doing everything on the same day.
Yes.
You understand? That's another way of
Cutting
costs massively. You understand? Yeah, it's one hall. You pay for the hall once.
Yes.
You understand? You do some people do the introduction.
Traditional.
And,
But
reception.
wouldn't that be an affront or an insult to our culture? You should go know the girl in her home. Why are you doing introduction in no man's land in a hall?
Leave there, okay. Leave there. So what do you think? You want to say something?
Like, we have to go back to our previous discussion when we said your partner should know your earnings.
Exactly.
When you guys come together and talk about, okay, this is what I'm earning and now we want to get married, or maybe before that, you think of the long-term goal. at the end of the day, all these people will go back to their various houses, and we'll have to think of how we're going to fend for ourselves. So you need to plan. Okay, forget the societal pressure, forget the cultural significance. Okay, we're not throwing away our culture, but at the same time, you still need to have a long-term financial goal, because at the end of the day, it's you and your partner that matters.
All right. So, okay. So if you're saying long-term financial goals, so are you saying it's okay for an average person who is trying to make a living to just go to, what do you call it, registry, and do little reception and move on?
Yes.
If that's what you can afford, then go for it.
What about the significance of that family, that laying of hands, that, wearing, there's this kind of blessing that comes when you're wearing ashoke, or what do you call this, no, the Igbo, that one with, Akweche, the one with the lion on it. I just forgot it right now. I'll remember, but don't worry, go ahead, I'll remember. Isiago, thank you. Isiago. I know why I didn't say it. What was coming to mind was a Bubrago. I said, no, that's a leopard. A Bubrago is different. I know something good, yeah, Isiago. Yeah. There's a kind of blessing that comes when you wear it and the hands come upon you.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like I said, we can still balance it out, right? I'm not saying anybody should not spend the wedding, but I think it's just, it should be there should be a more cautious effort, right? To at least, because people go overboard, right? Then the day I knew, I've been to a lot of weddings, right? That have thrown me off. An artist comes from nowhere, he's singing, you understand?
Yeah.
But this giving day, I was at the wedding and I was sitting close to the entrance, right? And I was just there, looking around. One guy just strolls in with long legs. One robot is holding bottles of champagne. You understand? Like people rolling on the floor.
It's a carnival.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
The wedding just turned into a club. You understand? And all these things come with pressure, right? So you go there, you see, this wedding, Lavish, and Nigerians now. Some of them say, I know more. Me, I got to say 18 years old. Do you understand? 18 years for my wedding. I don't want minor drinks. You understand? So people go overboard, right? And just spend excessively, right? I'm not being a hater. I enjoy the wedding.
Are you saying this because you don't want to spend this much? So you're pre-informing people that, guy, my own now just one plate of. That's what I'm saying now. I heard.
You won't do now if you knock my job. I beg. I'm just saying, but because you can still do all those things.
Yeah.
Without spending, over a certain.
If you want to splurge, there are things you can splurge on. You can spend on something like your dress, the food, the catering services, the photography. While there are certain things you don't necessarily need to spend a lot on. You get like, please, the bridals made dresses. Most of them won't put on that dress anymore. So why do I need to go overboard for their dresses?
Yeah. You just imagine somebody that a couple that want to jackpot now, right? And the wedding has to come just before they have to travel, right? And bless Nigerians, bless our culture, bless our family and friends, right? Whenever we're having this kind of what they call occasions, right? Weddings, to be precise. People tend to support you. You understand? And are you telling me now that you're going to just blow everything now on your wedding and go to Canada and go and be? You understand? Struggling. Again. You understand? So there are lots of things. If we look into the future, like you can save towards where you want to give birth to your kids, for instance. Nigerians have that preference, but we're not going to go into locations, right? But you can save towards that. And start saving towards your some people spend weddings and they are still staying in some random places. You could have done a lot more to yourself. People finish their weddings and they are in debt, serious debt. Do you understand? Imagine getting into a marriage in that kind of situation, right? It's just unfair to yourself, right? Especially one day. It's just for one day, as much as it's very important, right? nobody's going to tell you you're not married to your wife, or nobody's going to tell you you're not married to your husband at the end of the day. So, I just feel we should, especially in these times now, I feel I just feel the extravagant splurge is not worth, the stress, really. I just feel so. That's
Okay.
my opinion.
So do you agree with that, Tolu?
Like
Please
I
don't
said,
shock me. Don't say
if
you
you
do.
have the money, please go for it.
Thank you.
And if you've spoken and had the conversation with your partner about it, please go for it. And if your family and friends are willing to support you, you can go for it. But when you look at everything and you consider everything, you say, oh, most of the bulk money is coming from me and my partner, and at the end of the day, it's going to affect our long-term goals starting in marriage. Do you understand? Please reconsider. You can go for you can put in more effort and spend more on your traditional, invite more people, or you pick the white wedding, take more people in. You just consider which one you can spend more on. Do you understand? Which one is going to beneficial to you.
All right, so just to ask both of you right now, what is the perfect cost-effective wedding ceremony that is good for this time? That will not insult or denigrate our culture, that will show you love the girl. Because girls say, show me you love me. You're not planning for this wedding.
I've already said I have the solution.
Okay, let's hear you. That's too
Everything
quick.
in one day.
Actually,
Yes, it's the cheapest option. Really, you're using one venue for 3 different events in one day, and after then everybody can go home. Do you understand? But I mean, like you say, without ignoring the cultural aspect, right? To achieve that, you just pray that your supposed spouse's family.
close to you.
You understand?
So should you begin to consider that?
If they are agreeable with the idea.
Okay.
But I think if you can explain to them and let them know, look, it will be cheaper for us. This is the budget you have.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Everything will be covered. We'll take care of everybody. Blah blah blah. Let's just go this way. Hopefully you have understanding. You're marrying into an understanding family, and vice versa. Then you can achieve that. But I mean, that's the cheapest option. It's the cheapest.
Should we begin to consider the location of parents before you agree to? Where are your parents? Oh, they're in Kano. My brother. Sorry, I can't marry. I can't go all the way to Kano for wedding.
If you check the balance,
Yeah, in Borno. No. We're Sokoto. No.
But the thing is, I mean, what are the odds, right? If you are going to get married, right?
Yes.
For instance, with that example, to somebody that stays in Borno, right? The wedding can be had in Borno State. Yeah,
But all your friends are here.
They will travel now. Do you know how many people like to travel for weddings?
Traveling to Borno is not the same thing as traveling to Dubai. They'll travel to Dubai for a wedding, but would they go to?
It will shall be cheaper
for you
one day in either Borno or Lagos State.
Anywhere you do it.
Yeah, so that's the goal really, because the pressure is too much. Like, I was talking to somebody earlier on, and the person was like, man, if you go to some weddings, you just ask yourself, did I even do wedding?
Yes, so. Am I sure I've done my own wedding? Am I really sure?
No, I'm not really sure I did a wedding. Because you see some weddings, and now the standard is after parties.
I don't know.
There must be an after party. I mean, this is not even new. I mean, it's even old.
It's
standard.
No, but the kind of after parties we do now are not the after parties of, back then. You do the church and you do the after party, the reception. Now you do the church, you do the reception, which is the after party.
Yes.
Then you have party after party. After party after.
See some decors, right? While you're in the reception, you see them setting up the after party area, right? And you're wondering what on earth is going to happen there. Do you understand? I've gone for one wedding and have like lounge chairs. So
what's supposed to happen on those chairs?
People started coming. They
to
have
their
wedding,
own guests.
right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like they came for the reception. They came for the party, dressed, for the party, not for.
It was like clubbing out.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, what? So you get a lot of people get pressured into that, right? Like, how will I do my own? Well, like, do you understand?
Yeah. But no, sorry, you've spoken about the alternative approach to wedding, but are there regrets or values attached to some of these things
Exactly.
that you want to?
Yeah. So funny enough, I was thinking of asking you guys.
Yeah, but it came out first. So you
So well, I'm not married.
You will be.
I will be, but I hope I don't have regrets, and I pray I have a partner that we can actually agree on having the best wedding we can possibly give to ourselves, but without going overboard, really. I know a lot of people will kill me if they will not even listen to me. Some of my friends and family will be like there's something wrong with you.
After chopping our own wedding like this,
yes, and trust me, man, I chopped their wedding. I was
we know
center of attraction, but whatever it is, I will, try because it's easier said than done, right? But I will try to avoid it being extravagant.
I'll be there.
Keyword. I'll invite you.
I'll look for a way to get crashed. I must be there.
that I can assure you.
Okay then. All right. So we're still coming back to you guys. You guys have to close. Make a likewise yourself. You guys are the married guys. You guys have had your weddings. I came for Mecca's wedding. Mecca's wedding was lavish.
I mean, when you look at Mecca, you can see it.
So I want to hear what wants to say.
Is that right?
Let me defend myself.
His wedding was lavish. I ate like 3 times. You understand? Drank, ate everything all over the place. But you guys should give us the realistic part of it.
Yeah,
let's
realistic part of what?
Because
Really?
you're wearing the shoes, right?
Yeah.
The for couples who have opted for smaller or more intimate weddings or likewise.
Advise us, please.
No, I can. It's your money that will advise you. When you plan a big wedding and get halfway in your stock, you streamline.
Yeah.
You cut down the budget. But really, I mean, for example, my experience when I was getting married, my wife is from Delta.
Yeah.
And I was in Ghana then, so I had to come back down here and all that. And came to Lagos, then went to Delta. And I was in Ghana. It helped me. I didn't have. Yes, I grew up in Nigeria. I didn't have too many. Nigerian friends that are still holding on too tightly. Yeah. Most of my cliques were in Ghana, whether Nigerian or any other country you come from. So I asked my wife one thing. I said, we're going to Delta. Do we just do everything there? Get a pastor, bless the wedding, and we get back to Ghana? And he said, no, she wants to, have that kind of wedding. I said, okay, no problem. So went to Delta, came back a week, then we did the wedding in Nigeria, in Lagos. And I'm saying this because I hope she's listening now. Then I think about 2 years into the marriage, she just looked at me and said, well, you know what, honey, all this having one special big wedding, it doesn't really mean much. I said, huh? He said, what? And I tell you, let me to Delta. I didn't. Now telling me there's no big deal, my friend. Why did you think this way before the wedding?
I'm telling you, man.
So you see, weddings are good, but you see, as you mature, then you realize that really, what's the essence of this? Yeah, it's about you. It's between you and your spouse, the family, and
you understand?
Whatever works for you. Just make sure that you don't borrow money. You don't owe.
Exactly.
And you're not, when someone knocks on your door, you don't feel this palpitation. Who is that? No, and more importantly, make sure you don't spend so much, because some men spend on wedding, and when their wife does, and I spend so much on a wedding, look at the way this woman is treating me.
Or when they divorce at the end of the day, and they're like, I imagine after spending all that, they're not together again.
Yeah. Well, one thing I would advise you, if you can, is to spend good money on your ring.
Okay.
Spend good money on your ring if you can.
Okay. I immediately said that. Mecca was like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're married men now. Mecca, please speak to this. We married men. We know how we feel like.
After your lavish wedding,
I don't know where to go. I ate 3 plates of. But I want to say something. As we were discussing, one word and thoughts came to my head, and I was like, what if, for instance, Ogiva makes me like the wedding planner for his wedding, and I will advise him and say, instead of for the reception, just invite maybe one of these major, what's it called? Eateries and all that. And tell them that there's a voucher of 2,000 naira for my 50 people
Yes.
coming in,
Mhm.
and if anybody wants extra anything, they are paying for it.
Wow.
So you give them their voucher and they come and they. So if you are not where you are dancing, you're not looking at someone is eating
3 plates.
like
Like,
three
give
plates. Like I book voucher now. Maybe we would have paid for those.
those about 2 plates.
So like I think Kyle has rightly said most of what I would have loved to say. The very important thing is understanding what you want to achieve at the end of the day, and like you said, there are things that are very important that you must invest that time and money into, even no matter what it might come, because it's a special day and it's something that you're not going to repeat or you're not going to do again. So it's a once
Hopefully.
and for all thing. Yeah, hopefully. So I think what it takes to make it happen and make your partner happy within the confine of what you can afford, I think it is totally worth it. One funny thing happened I think during my wedding, because we, like Ogiva said, I did my the traditional and the reception in the same hall, but all these things that they say you bring the wife things and all that. I think one of the guys that brought one of drove the car down. He forgot one of the stuff. I think either yam, some tubers of yam and all that in my own place. So we got there. We're already at the venue.
Yeah.
Everything happened and they did this thing not complete. At the end of the day, I was happy that they left that one. Because I got home and
Anyway, we need to wrap up now. We need to wrap up now. Thank you guys for coming through. You know, I wish I was in your shoes, man. But hey, having some extra yam to eat. After all, you bought it for the wife, and this is the wife's now. Hey, we eat it at home. So.
Make plenty porridge.
You know, I just eat.
Yam and egg.
Guys, Darametrics team, Tolu, Ogiva, and Mecca, thank you guys for coming through.
Thank you.
We really do appreciate the time you spent with us this morning. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. on X, there is the X Spaces coming up, Nairametrics. Go learn a bit more about to manage your expenses. The bottom line today is that whatever you do, don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Yes.
It's your wedding, not other people's wedding. You didn't call this person. And when you give birth, maybe they no come chop picking money food now. But just make sure you have a good life.